Hi guys, Joe from Pepper in the Woods here, and this one's a video request. Art asked me how do I use a Lansky sharpening. So I emptied out my box of all my sharpening kit. So I'm just going to show you quickly what I use, chuck it back in a box, and then show you how I use a Lansky. Right, so this is my homemade strop. So the back side's plain, and the front side I use a green compound on that one, where you can see it needs a bit of cleaning here. Right, and all it is just a piece of wood, trimmed out a little handle, and just glued on some leather. So I'll use that in a bit. The kind of compounds I use is the blue Smurf poo, some silver lime green, and then some white. And this stuff, if you get a bit, it'll last you for ages, so you can swap and share with other people. So this bit here I use if I have a rust or anything else I want to get off. Or this is a ruler with different kind of grit sandpaper on it. This one's one of the little chef ones. I really don't use it that much because that takes a bit of time and practice with that one. But this one here I got off Amazon or eBay. I wouldn't get it because the leather's not great. I don't know, it was really cheap, and you could tell it's cheap. I'd rather get something a bit more well made and use it properly, but I'll use that if I have to. These little pocket ones, they're not bad. This one's ceramic and normal, so you know that works fine. I got that in an RJ box. These ones here, these any shop ones that you get stick to the table, and usually see them, as now seen on TV type things. These take a lot of metal off your knife, so be wary with that one. For the oil, I use the Lansky oil for that, which is good stuff. Polish up, clean it, use a bit of peak. This one you might see at car boots. This is really cheap and cheerful diamond plates. Nothing special about that, but these are the ones I first got, and they actually work really well. This one I seen at another market, and it has 200, 300, 400, and 600 grits on it. So you just use it and then keep flipping over, as you go along. And it's on its own little stand, which is nice. And then you have the Lansky, which is here. So I'll show you how to use that now. Right, so this is the Lansky Deluxe. So you have your coarse, which is the 70, 120, 280, 600, and 1000 grit. So if it's really bad, I start from here and work my way up, depending upon how much sharper I need to do. It's a good system, comes with a little bit of oil, a couple of spare parts, and the rods. So I'll show you how I put the rods on now. Right, so there's your Lansky there, right? Your rough one. You take this bit here, which has the hook on it, and you put it through the bottom, like so. Try to focus on that, but it's gonna make noise. But yeah. Right, so okay, it's not even gonna focus. But yeah, so they're in there, and you put it in, and then what I do is I put it on a table and make sure everything is flush and flat. So that's flat to the table, that's flat to the table, then I tighten it. Make sure everything's straight. Now all that is lined up. Right, so that's one big straight piece. And I'll do that for the rest of them now. Right, so with this one here, I screwed the base to a piece of wood, which I then clamped to a table just to hold it in place. This here is your bit that holds the knife, so I put that on top. And I usually keep a screwdriver in my box, which you will need. This is that knife that I had that was really rusty, and I got the rust off it. So what I'm going to do is put the knife, open it up a bit more. So use a screw on top, open that up a bit, even more than that. Right, so you put the blade in that, screw it down a little bit. It's kind of like in the middle of the knife, probably halfway down. That's the view of it. I'll zoom in again. Try it. Oh God. Right. So it's kind of halfway down the knife, halfway up the spine here on the knife. You tighten this one up first, there, and then you tighten up the back one. Just make sure it's all nice and snug. Now, sometimes I find as a stone hits this top part here, I put some tape on that, not to scratch anything. That's already weared out though. But yeah, so make sure the angle's right. And on the angle, right, the angle I usually use this 25, this one here. That's what I use for my bushcraft and normal knives. The other ones are more like for kitchen knives, chopping knives and stuff like that. But that's the one I use. So, how do I use it on this blade? I'll show you that now. Right, so I'm going to use this one here because this knife needs a little bit of TLC, which is the hardest grit. So what I'm going to do is I'm behind the camera at the moment, so I can't really see what I'm doing too well. But I've done this enough to know. Right, so I put a little bit of oil on it. This helps lubricate it, but also all the metal comes off it. It helps catch it so it doesn't go where it shouldn't go. Right, so I'm going to put that rod into the second hole here, which is the 25 degree. Now, everybody here does differently. I do tip and then I kind of push it all the way into the end. Right, so I'll do that 20 times. Right, it sounds horrible, but it does work. Right, so you do that 20 times. Then I start from here and I do that 20 times. Right. So, and then after I do it that many times, you take it, you flip it around, and then you do the other side. You just stick it back in the second hole, and you tap on there, and you do up. And that's the way I do it, a nice full stroke. Make sure your stone is on there. Start from there, and then your end of your stone bit should be here. So you still should have plenty of stone left over. So let's see. So come here, yeah, so you should have some stone left over, and don't forget to work that tip, yeah. Right, so then 20 times each, then I'll go through all the grits, then I'll strop, and that's mainly how I do my knife. So I'm not going to bore you with all of it, but again, you just work your way through all the grits, 20 each side, grinding this down, and then after you do each one, I wipe it down, so I'm not rubbing metal on that, and also keeping everything clean. So you can see how much metal came off on the ceramic one there. Now that's me going through all the grits 20 times each side. It did need, see there's a little bit stuff there still metal. So it did need a little bit of TLC in some spots. I don't really know where this knife came from, but I'll take a picture of and show you of the condition it was before I started sharpening it, because it was all rusty and stuff. And now you can almost probably, I'm not on my camera, but you can probably see a little bit of the edge there. A little bit of a shiny bit. But yeah, so it does work good. I'll see if I have some paper. See, so this way. Now see, it cuts paper, right? You know, no problems. But now to get it really, really sharp, I'm going to use the strop. Right, so just finished drop, and you can see there's a bit mirror polish there on the edge, which is what a good strop does. Just there. You can see the edge just there. So let me just show you quickly. Get that. So now, big difference. Cuts it. On this drop, don't go cheap. Because now, from a rusty old knife, you can really get some fine curls now. And I got rid of all the little chips that were in the edge, so it's nice and smooth now. So yeah, but like I said, the strop is really important to get a nice high quality one. Don't go cheap. Right, so that was my very quick and brief intro to knife sharpening that I use. Everybody's different. I'm sure you have your own way, and if it works for you, that's great. But this is the way I do mine. I just showed you the results I had from a blunt, rusty old knife, you know, so it does work. Like I said, the Lansky system's good, but it's something that you take to practice with. It's not something you just, you know, throw together and do it. You do need to, you know, do it a few times before you get nice and smooth with it. If you're not patient enough to get that, then just get a sharpening stone and just grind away on it if you want to. But like I said, whatever works for you. The strop is a high quality leather one, so that wasn't cheap. It was basically just a leather offcut of a good quality that a friend gave me, and the wood I just made for free. So that's basically it. So I hope that helps you guys who have the Lansky Deluxe system and interested in sharpening your knives, and everybody on Facebook who asked a question about it. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I hope it was quick enough. I'm going to try to edit this down a bit. But thanks guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you next video. Bye.